In this video, I'm going to show you how I decorate this album and get all the pretty pieces on there, everything from our closure to what's inside. I'm going to be using this paper pack from Echo Park called Love Notes, and this is the paper for the most part that we're going to use with the little album. And I think I have picked out most of the front cover colors that I want to use and this inside cover. So what I'm going to need to start off with is I want to do a covering for this entire front cover, and I think we're going to keep this folio fairly simple. I have already made this horizontal waterfall for pictures, a flip through, and I have put this on some of my short videos that will be there, how to make those, and I'll also link those below, and also I'll include a link when I've done a horizontal. But I think we're going to end up putting that over here on the bottom and also use it as a pocket. Now there's one thing I did forget to do, the bottom little piece right there, so I think I'm going to go in and I will show you how we'll add in a piece. I have the sides. We could go ahead and just glue that down along that bottom, but I think it's going to need a little bit more stability, so I think we'll add that. We can fix it. Things are fixable. So that will have a pocket there, and also I think I'm going to put an angled pocket on this side. That's going to be our nice folio album, and we'll do some decoration maybe down the spine. We need to get the dimensions for this because we're going to, I believe, place this paper down as our base. I think I want to do, this is just a little bit over 11. I think I'm going to cut my paper 11 1/8. And you can use these dimensions, but it never fails for me because it's dependent on how much space you put between here and other factors. Your album may be slightly different, so I would always recommend to do your own measurements. It's supposed to be an 11 by 7, and I think we'll do 6 7/8. So I have put the two-sided tape all around this paper, and since I'm going to be using the glue as well, I think this will be a good fit. Now, one other thing that I'm trying on this journal, this album, is I have placed some tape right through the spine, and let me show you why. I have found on a lot of my journals, this is one that I made at Christmas time, that it puckers right there. Not as bad on this side that it looks like, and it's really no big deal. Everything is there and in place, but it just bothers me. So I want to see if we place some tape here, and then we'll also focus on the glue, if that helps any. Okay, so we're going to end up putting this right here, and it is a tight fit, but that's exactly how I want it. And so let's start. I'm going to start on one side, and we'll take a little bit up at a time. Now for each of these pieces, I'm not going to take it all up, I don't think, at first. I'm going to go back a little ways. Let's see, you can see a little bit better here. And this is just so I can really be careful as I'm placing the paper down. Hopefully it will be good. We can always make fixes. I'm not going all the way to the spine yet, and now I'm going to put a little bit of glue as well. Really want to get those edges, make sure we get those down. Okay, I'm always checking. I am on the front cover side. That's what I'm working on. And here we go. Okay. We're going to place this part down. We'll have some more time in a little bit to really do some smoothing down. Now before I pull this, well, let's see. We'll go ahead and get this off a little bit. I'm going to try to do this spine as well. I'll take that up. Get my glue, almost like we need 3 hands. And I could really even put the glue on the cardboard if I wanted to, and I may do that here. I think I still want to do it over here. So I'm going to take these pieces up. And let's go ahead and I'll take this piece up. Okay. Now let's just carefully take this down. And we will just really burnish this. And for a few moments at least, I think I'm going to do like I have done before when I was placing the black cardstock on. I'm going to place a heavy book on top. And I don't have anything over here. I'm going to do my normal pieces. So everything will be down. I'm going to give that a few minutes to set. So while this piece is still drying a little bit, let me show you this. I have cut a black piece of paper that is 5 7/8 by 4 3/8. And then I have scored 1/2 inch on the right, 1/2 inch on the left, and 1/2 inch on the bottom. Now I'm going to come in and do the little cuts at the corners because we're going to fold these up. This is going to be our pocket behind the horizontal waterfall flip page here. It's going to fit when I fold this down, and we can go ahead and do that. Fold these edges down, and I want to go ahead and do this because we're going to add some decorative paper to this. So I folded this down. Here is going to be our pocket, and we'll place this right on top. It should fit right inside of this. Yes. And the reason I wanted to make it a little bit longer is because I started thinking if we start doing this a lot with the pocket, I'm going to end up gluing this on top of this. It could hurt the stability of all of our pictures and things. So we'll glue this on, and I'm going to put a strip of paper here. Let's see how that's going to work. These are the papers that I have set for the waterfall. So I'm going to put this on the front cover. I will glue that on, tape that on, and then alternating, I'm going to go with each of the little strips. They will go on each of the little waterfall pages. These are 1/2 inch by 3 1/8. This page is 2 1/2 by 3 1/8. And so I'm going to repeat that all the way through. There are 5 slots here. And again, I'll just glue that on. And then when we open the booklet, I'm going to also have strips on this side because that's going to leave me room for 2 pictures each. So, as I can kind of show you, I have these 2 by 3 pictures that are going to fit in each of the little slots there. So that's going to give me room for 10 pictures. So let me work on gluing that down. Now that this is dry on here, I am going to very carefully begin to bend. Find this bend piece and kind of mark it here. I can see the score line and feel it. And we're just going to carefully take this to bend. Okay, now let's go with the other side. Here we go. And just carefully, we don't want to rip the paper if we can help it. And fold everything together. And look, there's our test. That got down much better than, that's really good on that end, much better than that previous album. And everything looks good. Next, I want to make my pocket that is at an angle. And so I'm going to need a piece of paper. I know that this is 5 inches. I'm going to say, let's go 4 inches. And we'll go to here. We'll say to 5.5. So 4 by 5.5. I like to write these down. 4 by 5. But we will need 1/2 inch over here and 1/2 inch on the bottom. So here I have my 4.5 by 6 inch sheet of paper. It is scored at 1/2 inch on these 2 sides. And let's now trim off that corner piece. And now we can take our bone folder and fold these pieces down. And if I was doing just a regular, I don't know if you would even call it regular, but if I had this as my pocket, it would go right on. But I want to cut at an angle here. And so let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take it on the opposite side. And I want to measure off from the score line a 1 inch piece that I'm going to mark right there. And then from the bottom score line, let's take about a 1 inch. So really it would be 1.5 because we have that 1/2 inch score right there. I'm going to use my cutting board or my trimmer, and I just need to line up the tip of that with the tip of this, where we're going to cut. And then we will just take this angle off. And we have the pocket we're looking for. And this is going to end up going right here. And we can tuck some things in. I do want to put some decorative paper on here. So I have this piece of paper that is cut to fit almost the same as the pocket, but of course we have this angle that we have to deal with. Along these edges it is perfect, but we need the angle. So really, if you probably can't see on camera the little bit of a shadow, it needs to be cut just short of this. Find where I want it to naturally fit on these sides. And then I'm just going to come out just a little bit to the right. And let's flip this over and mark this angle. Then I'm going to take my scissors and let's trim this angle and see where we are. That came pretty close. I'm just off by a hair up at the top. Let's see, I think I was off a little. Let me trim this. And be very careful not to get the black. There we go. I think I'm also going to trim this little piece right here. Just a little bit, just a hair. A lot of this, it's hard to give exact measurements. I think I still need to go just a little bit. It's kind of just testing it and see what we've got, and I think I've got it right there. I am just going to use regular glue to attach my paper onto the black cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and put those down. Everything looks good, and it does. Whoops, and I shifted a little bit. Hold it in place and really press down. And there we have our pocket. So to place this pocket down, I like to put the two-sided tape at this spot, and this is the 1/4 inch tape. So I'm going to use this and glue. So I'm going to start with the bottom placement, and we'll take this off and get our glue. And I'm going to apply the glue as well. Now when we fold this down, I want it to go, this whole piece is going to match up with the very bottom, that black. Of the album. We can really burnish this down. Now let's do the same here. We have our gonna apply a little glue to the edge here, and we will just fold this along the top. And I'm going to place my pieces here to let those set. Let's work on our waterfall and pocket now. So we have this piece, the pocket, and I'm going to attach this 1-inch strip right along the top. And I'm going to leave just a little showing of the black on the top, so there'll be a distinction that someone will know, hey, this is a pocket. So that will be right like I have decorated the waterfall. It is ready for pictures once it's put in. It has these strips on either side. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I am going to add a little bit of tape to the back side of my waterfall as we're placing this on the actual pocket. We're going to use glue as well, but this tape will allow it to hold while the glue is setting up to dry. So now we're going to end up putting glue on the pocket, or on the score lined piece there on the side and all around, because this is going to just sit on top of the pocket. Here's our pocket. The biggest thing I want to make sure is I want to line up the bottom and the fold. Fold, fold, and the bottom. Okay. And I think I will set something down on top of this to allow this piece to dry. Now I have our waterfall and pocket, and I have placed some tape along the back pieces of the pocket. Let's start again with the bottom, just like we did with our pocket on the left hand side. We want to put some glue down as well, because this piece especially is a little bit heavy with this waterfall on it. And we want to match it up so that from edge to edge we will be on this black piece. And we can fold. Okay. That goes down. I think I'm going to put the tape down as well, and this time I'm going to use some packing tape because I can use the longer piece again so that this slides in really easy. Oops. And it's not going to show through because the pocket's long enough. Let's remove the backing from the tape here on each side. And we'll put a little bit of glue. And we're going to place this down. And again, we're going to put something on top to hold it in place. Now it's time to decorate the front. And for the front, I think I'm going to use this glitter paper. And we'll attach this to the front and make some stuff, put some stuff on it. We're going to just do this heart-covered paper on the back side. And for the spine now, sometimes I like to just keep that as it is. So I'm going to start off, and I think I'm going to put this on with just the glue onto our back side. And just have a little of the black peeking through on the edges. Okay, that will set and dry. And now for the front. Now, let me tell you my struggle. Of course, I'm covering up a lot of the paper, and I know I'm probably going to get comments about that. I could cut out this middle so that I can use the paper more, but my only concern there is it's going to make an indentation. So I don't think I really want to do that. But I like having that outline there. So I think I'm just going to go with this. I've got some more red paper. This came in a paper pack that I have. And I don't really use a lot of the glitter unless maybe I'm cutting it. Sometimes with my Cricut, I will cut out some figures or doing some hearts, punched items, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it. I understand that I could cut it out, but for now, I just want to use one piece. And then we're going to glue that onto our front cover. And just like on the back, we want just a little bit of the black showing. And we're just going to leave this here to dry. So everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out. Now we have the front and the back covers on here. And I think what I want to do, I've got a little cut apart that came with the Love Notes kit. And I took another piece of the red glitter. And I think what I want to do is kind of place this on the front like this. And I think I'm going to keep this as is from here because if you'll notice my book opens naturally like this. We could have put some ribbon around it. We could have done some magnets. But what I think I want to try this time is using some of this elastic, round cord elastic. We'll take a piece, and I'm not even going to attach it to the actual book, but we can use it to wrap it around. And then I have some cute little charms that I have put together. And if you're interested in a video on how I do my charms with a little, I think these are called light bulb pins. I'm not for sure. There's something about the name. But I can share that, and then I also want to use some of my pom-pom trim. Let's see, I have the red as well. Wow, that red looks good too. So let me get these pieces cut. For the elastic piece, I've taken my piece of elastic and I don't want it, you want it to have a little bit of a pull, and that's going to be how you keep your book closed, right? But I need a little bit of a room to make a knot. I'm going to leave this here to be drying. And I've just taken these two pieces. I'm just going to take both ends and form this knot, this one tie. Let me trim these off again. And I think this is really as easy as I want to do it. Now I get my elastic cord. I found it at Walmart. You can, I'm sure, find it at any craft store. Let's take the piece of elastic. We're going to attach that here. Now this is how it is without anything on it. We've got the little tie right here in the back. It can go wherever we really want it to go. Let's see. I think I may keep it right here because I have also taken some ribbon that I have, just little pieces like I showed you the trim, some red, some pink, all Valentine colors. And I'm just going to line these up. And we're just going to tie these onto our elastic. I like them having different lengths, and I like how those, when you try to tie the little trim, it makes almost a cluster. I think I'm actually gonna put this in the back. But what's great is you can always adjust this as you want to and have it just cute. And then now we're going to take our little charm and I'm going to hook that in to this center piece of all the ribbons tied together. So it will take hold. And then we have a great place for our charm. And when we're ready to get inside our book, we can just slide this off and everything's together here. So now we have the inside of our album, and I've got a couple of little cut aparts that came with this Love Notes set from Echo Park, and I'm just gonna slide these into this pocket over here. I've got a spot over here. These are great little journaling pieces. And now I'm also going to add in my pictures. And now you can see how easy it is to take some pictures. I had these that I went inside my editing tool and brought them down to 2x3s. I could put 4 2x3s on a 4x6 picture, sent that to my photo service and got those made, and then I was able to cut those out, and they are a perfect fit inside this little waterfall piece that is inside of the album. And it makes for just the cutest little picture spot. I hope you've enjoyed watching me put together my little Valentine / birthday party album. That's what it's turned into with the little pictures that I've chosen. But it's a cute little way to showcase multiple pictures using this horizontal waterfall piece. We've got plenty of little pocket space that we can still add other little pieces to have a great little memory for whatever event it is that you've got coming up. So grab any kind of paperboard you have, pretty papers, and get to crafting and making yourself cute little albums to keep great memories.